David Moyes was pleased with Everton's performance at Stamford Bridge on Saturday, despite the 2-0 defeat against Chelsea. The manager thought Everton were bright in the game, but ultimately couldn't score goals, which has been a big issue this season. This was David Moyes' take after the game.
Maybe £1 billion difference, possibly. You know what I mean? But overall, if it's a game against 11 v 11, so that's how we start. I thought we played well today. I did. We've got a good away record, and I hope the people who haven't watched us actually recognise maybe why. We've done really well, and today we've done well. When we lost Kieran, we were just a wee bit disrupted for about 10-15 minutes. I thought we'd started the game well. In that period, we lost the goal, dropped a runner, but it'd be hard to be disappointed with a lot of the stuff we've done. But I'm disappointed because we didn't win. Disappointed because we've got a couple of injuries, but not disappointed with how the players are going about it. Right to the end, they kept going, kept trying to get a goal, trying to get us back in the game. The one thing I would say, we were never out the game at 2-0. There was always a chance if we could get one, then with a chance of getting another. No, not really. It was a tougher decision to take Jimmy Garner off with 10 minutes to go, who was probably as good as any player on the pitch, Jimmy Garner, today, but we knew that he was one booking away and we had to protect him, especially with the boys going away from the AFCON.
There you go. I thought Everton played okay. I think the manager, for me, has over-egged it slightly, but that's fine. But what I would agree with him is we certainly had enough chances at the weekend. We've had more chances there at Stamford Bridge than we've had for a while, and we were decent with the ball at times, but just a little bit of a gulf in class. They've spent over $2 billion on their squad. We're just starting to try to rebuild ours. Plus, we obviously the injury early on to Dewsbury Hall was a blow, and we haven't got loads of options off the bench. But made a decent fist of it. But it is frustrating. We've got to pick ourselves up. Like I've just said there, the big sort of change in the game happened when we lost Keane and Dewsbury Hall in the opening sort of 10-15 minutes of the game. David Moyes was asked for an update on him. This is what he had to say.
Well, at the moment we don't know if we're losing Dewsbury Hall, so we're not sure about that. But losing the two boys who are going to AFCON is a miss. But I said in all my press interviews, we hugely support the AFCON. We support the boys who are going to play for their countries. It's a great honour for them, and we wish them well. If you sign African players, you have to accept that's part of what happens.
There you go. Hopefully there's nothing too serious with both. If we were to lose Dewsbury Hall and Grealish with injuries, that would be a devastating blow, wouldn't it? Especially with Illiman and Jai and sort of Idrissa Gana Gueye going off to AFCON as well. It'd be we'd be really, really light, wouldn't we? I mean, against Forest we only had 8 subs, and that was with 2 goalies. So, it shows you how thin Everton's squad is. One player who we thought was excellent at the weekend was midfield player James Garner. He is, of course, his contract's expiring this summer, although Everton do have an option. David Moyes was asked about possible contract talks with James Garner. This is what he had to say.
Well, look, I wouldn't be letting him go, so I think the club will do everything they can to make sure that he stays. It shows signs. It shows probably a difference. I don't know if many clubs were after the Everton players in the past, possibly, but they're now beginning to show a bit of interest in some of the players, which is a good sign. So hopefully he signs a new contract when it's the time. But he's got the end of the season. He's got an option as well. So obviously would be on that if we need to be.
Yeah, James Garner's been, like I said, probably him and Keane and Dewsbury all probably been Everton's best 2 players this season, consistent-wise. Grealish has been brilliant at times, of course, and Jai's had a good season as well. But I think Jimmy Garner and Dewsbury all have probably been the pick of Everton's players this season. So he is at a really good age. I expect he'll sign a new contract. But having that year option, which Everton will exercise, obviously lessens the worry around it. It essentially means he's got 18 months left at the football club. But it's better to get that sorted out and get him on a longer term deal. He's playing well enough. He's been absolutely key at times this season, that he can play everywhere for us, and that's what he's gone and done. So, hopefully that'll be sorted out. And the manager looks as though he wants that sorted out as well. So I expect James Garner will sign a new deal soon. According to reports today, Everton again linked with Manchester United midfield player Kobbie Mainoo. And this is following on from remarks that Ruben Amorim made about him, saying that he is prepared to allow him to leave on loan. Amorim said that if Mainoo goes to him and asks could he leave on loan, he will allow it because it's about making sure the player is happy. David Moyes is reportedly interested in strengthening his midfield options, which are looking quite bare at the moment. Mainoo's obviously an excellent footballer, really highly rated. It's strange what's happened to him at United. It looked as though he was going to be in that midfield for years to come and really sort of make it his own. But he seems to have either lost his way a little bit or Amorim just doesn't fancy him. And if Amorim not fancying him means that, you know, it works to Everton's sort of advantage, then why wouldn't you get him? Like I said, we are really light in midfield. It'd be brilliant for Everton to get this deal done in the, you know, sort of in time for him to come in on, you know, when the minute that transfer window opens, because I think he's an excellent footballer. We'll have to see if that's possible. I don't know, but if United aren't going to use him, then we'd take him. Really good player. Played in the Premier League, loads of experience. Played in the cup final. You know, he's played for England, so David Moyes would have a fully ready-to-go Premier League player, who is a very, very good footballer. We'll see whether there is anything, but these links continue to circulate, and according to lots of people in the know, if you want to put it like that, there is definitely an interest from Everton in taking Mainoo for the rest of the season on loan, so we'll wait and see. Now finally, Everton today linked again with Real Betis defender Nobel Mendy. The centre-back, 21 years of age, currently on loan at Rayo Vallecano. He scored 1 goal in 7 appearances this season, very highly rated. Everton have kept tabs on him this season, but that's out in Spain again today, saying that Everton are very interested in signing him. I don't know. He's a 21-year-old centre-back. Good player, like I said. But I don't see this happening in January because he's on loan at Vallecano. And you're probably better just letting him play the season. Now, would Everton go and buy him in the summer? Maybe. To come into that defence. There'll be decisions to be made on sort of Michael Keane, who's 32, of course, and he just signed an extension. Whether Everton will give him another one, I don't know. They might be prepared to let him go out. There's obviously James Tarkowski, who's 32, and has signed a 3-year deal, so he'll still be around the squad. You'd have Jared Brantwaite, who's 23, and you'd have Jake O'Brien, who's 24. So you'd have some good defenders, young defenders. But Mendy is highly rated, and Everton are keeping tabs on him. So, again, another one to maybe keep an eye on. That is it for the News Daily. Make sure you check out The Final Word. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. See you later.